Hello all, welcome to my final part of the Lifehouse Retrospective. As I began to collect more music by The Who during my early college years, I became more bemused by the Lifehouse project. Also, I had access to my dad's CD burner and frequently created mix CDs, usually material from my dad's own CD collection. Naturally, I eventually crafted a pair of mix CDs of what I thought was a good running order of the Lifehouse material I had available at the time. A few years later, after getting an iPod, I assembled an expanded playlist version with more tracks added. One Note is an alternate version of the radio play adaptation's introduction. It features Pete discussing the end of what he calls the Last War, which from the sound of it is a reference to the end of World War II. It sounded like a good start, especially the final words. Naturally, Baba O'Reilly follows, as does Time is Passing. I decided to put Water into the playlist early because of it painting a pretty good idea of the bleak, polluted world the story is set in. On the playlist, but not the original mix CDs, were the next three tracks. I felt Early Morning Dreams from Psychoderelict made for a good example of the stuff citizens would get from their humdrum grid programming, and that Baba M5 Vivaldi in the 1999 version of Who Are You would represent Bobby breaking into the grid to begin luring people to London for the Lifehouse concert. Baby Don't You Do It would follow, depicting Mary's escape. The Who's next edition of Love Ain't for Keeping and I Don't Even Know Myself would depict the aftermath, with Ray and Sally arguing. Mayor Baba M4 Signal Box would represent another break into the grid, giving Ray and Sally an idea of where to find Mary. Going Mobile would represent the start of the journey south. The tracks Greyhound Girl, The Seeker, Bargain, Sister Disco, Mayor Baba M3, and Too Much of Anything would be part of the journey as well. Even though The Seeker wasn't part of the Lifehouse project itself, I felt it deserved a place here because it was Pete's first attempt at writing something thematic after Tommy, with Lifehouse later planned to have become the culmination of this attempt to do something bigger. I envisioned Mayor Baba M3 as the point when Ray and Sally reach London. I can see the song Mary serving as being from Bobby's perspective, and the electric version of Love Ain't for Keeping as Ray and Sally finally catching up with Mary. Can You Help the One You Really Love was written for the radio play but not used, but I liked it enough that I included it here, possibly as Bobby reflecting on the possible outcomes of the concert event. Baba M1 in Electronic Wizardry would represent a test demonstration of the computer-generated music concept, with Sound Around being the immediate aftermath. Behind Blue Eyes is next, as Jumbo hears about the concert and prepares to have the government respond in force. On the original mix CDs I made, this closed Disc 1. I Want That Thing from Psychoderelict sounded like it would make another good break into the grid to promote the concert. I placed Getting in Tune afterward as the setup before the concert itself started. It was the opening track on Disc 2 of my original mix CDs. The next 11 tracks, New Song, Put the Money Down, Who Are You, Slip Kid, Pure and Easy, Music Must Change, Relay, Let's See Action, Naked Eye, Join Together, and the instrumental 9.5-minute cut of the demo of Baba O'Reilly, would make up the actual concert, climaxing to the one note ringing out. I envisioned Baba M2 as an aftermath of the one note, perhaps a final hint of the musical nirvana that the concert-goers and spectators at home had experienced. Won't Get Fooled Again would follow, with the beginning of the government's fall as their forces breach the concert venue and discover everyone has disappeared. Pick Up the Peace was placed to be a depiction of Bobby realizing his dream would continue, despite having ascended from the mortal plane. The Song Is Over closes the playlist, as it would have been the closing song in the film had it been completed. The playlist runs over 2 hours, and even though I've done plenty of other playlists that mash together related material, this is one of the few I'd say I'm most proud of. To sum up, the Lifehouse project has kept me mesmerized from the first time I heard about it, while flipping through the liner notes of my first ever Who purchase, the Ultimate Collection. The idea of a concept spanning an album, a film, and tied into a series of filmed concerts would have been a massive undertaking in 1971 had it worked. While it's a bit sad that it wasn't completed as Pete Townsend had originally envisioned, it's still amazing that there is so much legacy tied into it over all those following years. It was an attempt to bring musical experience to new heights, while simultaneously allowing The Who to become something greater than the sum of its parts, which was already a perfect storm of creativity, talent, and drive. I hope you've all enjoyed this retrospective, and if you haven't had the chance to peruse some of this music in greater detail, I highly recommend it.